somebody had directed me towards it. I'd never heard of you, but I was watching how you were handling things. And first off, kudos, because there are not very many spaces where you can go and people are talking. It's with us, with our people, where there's not very much disrespect going on. And the woman just said it before she got off. It's usually be this or FN. You know, I'm trying not to cuss because nobody else has.
Right.
But it's a whole lot of that. And I saw your title and I was like, oh my God, another Black person telling people not to go to somebody else's stuff, not to help somebody get paid. Because the one thing I looked at about this whole Pearly situation, I was glad you said that. You said, it's sad that they've made it a competition instead of about a conversation. And how I've been saying it, if you look at what my videos were, that was literally what I was saying. How is it that it's always about the white girl shows up and it's this direct competition between white girl, Black girl, and you put them above me and instead of the conversation? And the conversation seems to not be being had, or we're not hearing each other. So I was watching what you were doing, and I was on the Latif show. I didn't know what he was. I went on there, I think about 2 times, 2 or 3. But one of the times I went on there, it was literally just somebody coming up to disrespect, You had a girl on your show just a minute ago who is a blatant liar, island girl, the dark-skinned girl with her breast out saying that, oh, I'm just a cute chick with the breast out. She's a blatant liar. All she's going around.
That is weird. I was wondering, why would you have your breast out and you complain about you're just the girl with her breast out? You should probably put them away. It don't make no sense to talk about it now.
I'm trying to start her own YouTube channel. The Black guy, and I had to kick her off mine because I said, wait a minute, every time you go to somebody's channel, you're starting stuff and you're trying to get people to come to your show and you're Mrs. Pro-Black and you let people know off top you living with a white man. So it just sounds completely crazy.
No, wait. Because I
didn't know that. I did not know that.
Like, you're speaking on things that I don't know anything about. But she is down here. Do you want me? Let me go ahead and add her.
The whole thing was she lied. Oh, they let them attack me, and I'm just the girl with the cute girl with the breasts. But I'm like, the first question was, why would you even come around these men like that? They don't know you. Why is it every time you come out, your breasts are there, but you're acting like?
Did I just see that?
You did that on your.
Wait a minute. Let me back this up. What was her profile picture of?
Is down here. Do you want me? Let me go ahead and add her.
The whole thing was she lied. Oh, they let them attack me, and I'm just the girl with the cute girl with the breasts. But I'm like, the first question was, why would you?
Your whole thing is about your profile picture is you naked. She's just another. You're just sexualizing yourself to try to get okay. All right, she should not get. You should not be able to complain about anybody. Like I'm just the girl with the breasts out. Your opinion doesn't really matter. You're sexualizing yourself. Why would anybody pay your opinion any attention? Stop sexualizing yourself.
You even come around these men like that. They don't know you. Why is it every time you come out, your breasts are there, but you're acting like someone asked you to do that? You did that on your own. Then she lied about when she came on my show, when I just stopped talking to her. I just stopped. She spent the whole time in the back of my show, like on yours, talking back in the back, saying how, oh, I understand what you're saying. And literally I played where she lied. I played it on the show. She claimed that, well, I immediately said, I'm sorry. So I played that. She didn't. But the point was, you got someone that's jumping around from everybody's panel, spends the entire day. And that's what YouTube has become for Black people. Let me come up and let me knock you down at the same time. So that's what I was afraid of when I saw your panel, when I saw the title.
Well, you are aware that this is about disrespecting Black women in these spaces, right?
Yeah, so that's what I said. When I watched it, you know, a lot of times what we do is we'll see a title. We'll go off that title. But not me. I like to do my research. So I said, well, let me watch it. And I watched how you handled this. And we don't do very much of that when we handle each other. I talked on my show yesterday. I said, we don't have grace for each other. meaning we can fail. If you ever notice, when we go to a white store, the white store might treat us bad, not give us the best service. We'll go back though. If a black place, a black store gives us bad service, not only will we not go back, but we'll go to the internet, we'll go to our friends, we'll go to our family and say, telling you not to go there. So we'll try to kill a black business. I watch somebody.
That's crazy. Now that I'm older, I want to push back on that. I don't hear nobody ever tell me not to go to a black business. I don't ever hear this. But the white business either, I don't ever hear him. I don't meet those people who just say bad reviews on stuff. Because when I get bad service, I'm just mad. I don't even tell people. I'm just mad all day.
In the comment section while I was, somebody brought my name up and then they just had a whole bunch of talking about me. And that's when I clicked the link. But somebody said,
I have seen some of your content in the past of you being disrespectful to black women on your platform. So,
they deserve it.
So what has changed since then versus now? I haven't watched your content.
You don't need to change it
as of lately, so I can't really speak about as of lately, but in the past, I mean, you created an audience doing that as well.
Being honest.
I don't know. Well, first off, y'all doing all these panels? I didn't. Most people would rather watch me talk by myself.
I know, but I'm just speaking in general. Like, you created an audience disrespecting black women as well.
Well, no, I did create an audience of people watching me talk about what black women were doing. It was specifically about what was doing. Everything I said, I showed. Now, I'm not here to defend black women and the negative things that they do. I'm not here to do that. I'm just saying, why is it that when we have these conversations, yes, hold black women accountable, but the shaming, the insulting, and all this extra not a conversation
stuff, all the extra stuff.
Well, it's not a conversation if I'm talking to a screen. You'd have to judge me based upon when they're in front of me. That's a conversation.
I know.
That's true.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. When I have men in my life, right? They hold me accountable, but they don't shame me. They don't belittle me. They don't put me down. They uplift me and guide me in a better direction. I
don't seem like they did a good job. Well, why people act like shaming is a problem? Shame, there's nothing wrong with shaming a person. Shame makes you not do it again. That's what shame does. We need to bring shame back and bring it back strong. I got shamed a lot. I believe it made me better, but you know, man, I need to go talk to a therapist.
I don't understand. Why is that not the approach? Why is the approach to tear a person down, belittle them, insult them? Why is that the only approach when it comes to holding black women accountable? Because I'm not against that.
Well, it shouldn't be the only approach. As you just spoke, you said that there were people in your family who you know who you approach that way. It's the same way of how I teach my daughter versus how her coach does. And when you speak about that, see, I'm an athlete. I'm a former athlete and played D1 ball. Now, I will tell you this, of course, with people who go to the military. My father was a military man. In the military, they don't talk to you and they uplift you. Not everybody responds to that. If you ever played any sports, not every one of them responds to that. Kevin Durant.
But have you tried that approach? I haven't seen anyone really try that approach.
You're not hearing me. There are places they can get that. When you go to ESPN, you're going to get sports. Can they try politics? Surely they could, but that's their niche. That's the way they speak. This is the way I speak. This is the way I was trying to tell you my background so you know why I feel it works. Bill Parcells was a coach. He was a coach who believed in coaching hard. Dick Vermeil was a coach. They both won Super Bowls, but Dick Vermeil was considered a player's coach. He was considered a player's coach because he built the players up. Bill Parcells, he was a championship coach, but he broke them down. Each of them have their players that swear by them.
But don't you think black women are already broken down? Don't you think they're already broken down enough by? Don't you think they're already broken down enough in society?
Why don't you say this? You go to the place where the teaching works. Eat the meat, spit out the bones. You don't go to someone. Why would you marry a man who you believe is mean to women to then ask him, why don't you be nice to women? I don't go to women who are prostitutes and tell them to stop being a prostitute to be
Are
with
you
me.
married? Are you married?
You're not listening.
No, I'm not married.
So if you're putting out that kind of content and you're not married to a Black woman or a woman in general, don't you think that we would probably perceive that as like you hating on women?
Well, no. Why would you say I was hating on women because I'm not married to them when the majority of Blacks aren't married?
No. But
That would
you
be
just,
odd, then we shouldn't be having any of these conversations.
You just said that
Good
if
point.
I surround myself and I engage with women, but you don't have anyone backing you on that.
I didn't say
what
that.
He never said that.
Everybody was listening to me. I didn't say that. I didn't say if I surround myself by women. I said I wouldn't go to a prostitute and then ask that prostitute to not be a prostitute so I can be with her. I would go with a woman.
What he is saying is that it's crazy that she's not catching it. He is saying that he is an asshole. That's what he is. Why would you go to an asshole and expect the asshole to stop being an asshole? An asshole can help a person. There's also nice people that can help a person. The asshole be an asshole to help that person. Don't go to a person helping asshole and tell him to help people like a nice person when he is an asshole. Do not know how she did not grasp that.
Woman who already has what I need. I talked about that last night on the show. We do too much trying to change people into seeing things our way instead of respecting the way they see them. If
I
you
just
know
don't think,
that,
I just personally don't think beating down Black people to
and I
change.
understand that.
I just don't think beating down Black people to change is the approach.
But I
Because
understand what
you
you're
have to
saying, but we-
understand mentally, Black people are already not in the best place.
Boy, time somebody, I know he's getting upset. I know he is. I know he is.
You
Would
have
you
to
agree with
also
that?
understand that you're saying something. I'm accepting what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Then you won't let me say what I'm saying back. You misquoted me badly just a minute ago. I didn't say anything about that. But you're saying now, hey, I don't think Black people should be beaten down. As you say, you don't think it, but you don't know. But you're not listening to me saying there's several different avenues that could take people to the same place. I live in Atlanta, Georgia. You can take 285, 20, 675. You can take a lot of ways to get to Atlanta. I'm not going to sit here and argue with someone about the way they got to Atlanta. I just won't drive that direction. Why does it seem like y'all feel like when you said think, that means you don't know? But you say you don't think this will work. But then we got Black people who live in households where they will straight up tell you, and comedians will say, guess what? My mom used to beat me after everything I did. My mom talked like this and said this and cussed me out. We all laugh. So why is it that in the house they live in, where they can't run away from, they can't get out of, y'all accept somebody beating down children? But me as an adult talking online where you literally don't have to watch it, somebody's saying, you're beating these people down. No, it sounds like these people are beating themselves down. If I keep going to the gay club, you might think I was gay. Because they didn't ask me to go, and I want to sit here and complain about what they're doing in the gay club all day. And I keep going. People have like, you have your uncles and fathers and things. You have your uncle and fathers and things.
I have this one question. I just have one more question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the world today, right? You look at your daughter. Do you think that it's working, what you're doing?
Yeah, I look at my daughters.
It's successful.
Both of them. I look at my daughters. My daughter is a junior now. She's already gotten accepted to 6 colleges. She's just a junior. Her mother doesn't have to work. You know why? Because me, who's not her husband, does that for her. They just came back home from Hawaii a few months ago, and they just went to New York. Just to go on me. And I'm not married to that woman, and I don't disrespect that woman because that woman respects my child and respects me. But you only owe protection towards those who are in your life. you can protect those outside. But when you ask me, do I think what I'm doing is working?
Yeah,
I've
your
had
influence.
come to me and tell me that it's worked. I've had several of women. The majority of my audience is Black women. You know how I found out that your show was talking right now? From a Black woman.
Mm-hmm.
A Black woman who is a huge fan of mine wanted me to come look at this. The majority of messages I get telling me what videos I should do, and this is what happened in the news. Black women. So I laugh whenever people say this because I'm thinking, when 60% of your audience is Black women and they praise what you do and how it's changed their lives. There was a woman, my mother's a pastor. There was a woman in her church who said, Reverend Malone stood up and said, I know your son. And my mom said she thought that this woman was trying to embarrass her in the middle of church. I know your son and I see him and he says some of the most disrespectful stuff online. But then she kept going. She said, and I came home and I argued with my husband about it and I let him see it. He said, my husband started laughing. She said, what you laughing at? She said, well, he's telling the truth. I don't like the way he's saying it, but there's a lot of truth in what he's saying. And he asked her, he said, but why would you listen to him so much if it bothers you that much? Unless there's something in it that you know is truthful. And she said, Reverend Malone, at that point I realized maybe your son like Peter, when Peter cut off the soldier's ear. Maybe that's his job. Maybe his job is to stir up the conversation. Because if it didn't bother you or if it didn't resonate, you wouldn't listen. And I said, that's what I'm doing. My job ain't to get you to think like me, but it is to get you to think. So you may not like the way I do it, but wouldn't that push you towards somebody who does it the way you want to so you would more listen to them? Sometimes you got to get in a bad relationship to recognize you got a good one now.
Okay. I mean, it's their choice to tune into you. So it is what it is. But thank you for coming up here and sharing.
Oh, thank you for having me up here. And again, like I said, great what you're doing and how you're handling it. Hell, I wish I could handle it like that. I got a foul mouth and a loud mouth, but I'm watching you and what you're doing is giving people the option. And I think if Black people are as diverse as we claim they are, we have too many of the same thing. You can't have a whole bunch of me. You can't have a whole bunch of pushovers. We need to show that we are diverse and give people differences. So thank you for having me up here because you didn't have to, because you could have seen me and said, oh, hell no. But you let me talk. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. You enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Okay. Island Girl.
Thank you for letting me speak.
Anything that you wanted to add based off of what he was saying?
Yes. So the thing is, I'm new to the space, like I was saying, but he came on multiple shows that I was on, and he at first was pushing back against me. We were arguing, and then afterwards he was like, "Oh,
give me a second. Let me find out how long this video gonna talk."
You know, you're like my little sister. And I was like, you're like my big brother. This is funny. I've always wanted a big brother. Cool. We don't have to agree, but we can agree to disagree. But then I guess just because I was cool with him at that point, he felt like I couldn't say anything about what he was doing. And that's just not the way that I am. If I feel like you're doing something wrong, I'm going to tell you. So I felt like he was wrong on a specific topic. And I told him that he was being a hypocrite. And he completely went off the rails. Then he goes.
He does that. Hope you explained how he was being a hypocrite, because then he really would have did that.
To his show, and he's calling me all kinds of bees and hoes and bees and talking about my kids, saying how
this
my
not
kids,
sounding true.
I don't have custody of my kids. That's a lie. My kids are just visiting their father. It's spring break.
Sounds like a lie now, what you're telling me.
These narratives. A white man lives with me. A white man doesn't live with me. My boyfriend is white, but he lives in Tennessee. But all these things he could ask, but instead he creates this narrative of me just being this liar that's just running to these platforms to lie on people and get people to my channel. I just started my channel this weekend. So I really need to know. I really need to know. Like, how
how did you skip the whole build up to this happening? Oh, my big brother and the baby sister, yada yada yada. We can both be great, but now all this happened. This is the most chopped up ass story I've ever heard. You know, see where it goes.
All this time before, I was on these panels talking to get to know y'all in the space. So I just feel like him coming up here trying to make it seem like, oh, Fantasy Island Girl just comes to take people from the space and bring them to theirs. Like, there's been so many times where this man has come to a panel that I was on, I was invited to, he asked to come up on, and then when he got mad, he's like, oh, me and my fans are leaving. Wait and see how many people you have left in the chat. Like, sir, you can leave. You can leave.
But what made him like?
Did he say that?
What set him off? Like, what triggered?
Everything sets him off, Yanie. He is not
That's
like
not true.
he's. I understand how he was up here with you. I understand that when it's a one-on-one conversation, it's easier to not be this way. But he is overly emotional most of the time. So when he gets in his feelings,
I don't know about most of the time, but he do get overly emotional. And I think he already explained that. That's because he had a single mama. He explained that. So you don't do it all the time.
he has his crew of people that are ready to back him, which is fine. Like, that's just what you get after having time in the space, right? But
that's an excuse to say that he has a following, so no matter what, he's not wrong. That was just an excuse.
But the thing is, he thinks he cannot be checked because he is Tommy Sotomayor. And everybody gets checked. As you've seen, as you checked Anton, or as you guys get through these spaces, everybody gets checked. So I just don't have a problem checking these people, especially these people. They're all new to me. So I don't have this, oh, you're King Sotomayor. I don't have that. So
yeah, Yanie, cover your chest up.
The way I see you is a man, and sometimes you're wrong to me, and I'm going to tell you.
This Fantasy Island Girl, you really do need to like cover yourself up. Like, what you're wearing, like, it's very inappropriate. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. I am not a breast guy. I do not like just to see the like long knee knockers. And that's what they are. They're sagging knee. I don't want to take shots at you. I apologize. Let's keep going.
I feel like there's a lot of ego in this. I just feel like like the whole time I'm sitting here listening to everybody, it's ego. Like, it's ego, and ego is ruining the Black community. Ego has been ruining the Black community for a long time. And I'm just wondering, like, when are we going to get back to the love? Because the love is what really brought us together, and ego has really torn us apart.
When are you going to get back to the love? You know, one way that we can easily, well, it's not easily, but this could work if you would, how about you get off the internet and get yourself a husband and be a wife, like be like a stay-at-home mom or housewife. Do you have kids, Yanie? That's what I really need to know. You have kids. Could you put me like stay-at-home mom, watching your kids, taking care of the house and your husband, all that stuff? Or are you gonna say that like that's like old school? That's what they used to do. Yeah, because that's when we say get back to love, that means you saying let's go back to old school. But most people don't want to go back to that. They think it's misogyny, or whatever the fuck it's called.
So that's what I don't understand. Like, in my mind, I feel like, when you do things from a loving space, it has the ability to bring people together. Like today,
bullshit. Yeah, like fucking Martin Luther King didn't exist already. Martin Luther King was alive. When that nigga went away, shit fell apart again.
I did this out of love, not out of ego, not out of greed, not out of I'm trying to clout chase. Let me make some money. I didn't like how Black women were being treated, and it's just really that simple. And I just felt like, as Black people,
tell them to stop going. Oh yeah, you did. You already told them to stop going. That's all you can do.
People, we could do better. We could do better. And it just starts with respecting one another, having a certain level of respect. If you feel like there's someone on your panel, on your YouTube channel that you can't garnish respect for, why have them on your channel? Why have them on your page? Why not just remove them? We have the ability to pick and choose who we entertain, who we have on our platform, who we give a voice to, who we dedicate our time to. And I just don't understand, like, if this space is really to help Black people and help the Black community move forward, I just think we're going about it wrong. And I think we have the power to change that. If something is not working, then it's not working. And this militant style that Tommy was talking about, I don't believe in it. And the reason why I don't believe in it is because if it worked, the world would have improved by now.
That's not true. It's not true at all. I don't even know why you would say something like that. First off, Black women ain't supposed to be making decisions. Like, I don't even understand. Why don't you just grasp that? You aren't supposed to be making decisions. You are supposed to be being led. I think I said that correctly. You are supposed to be led. There you go. You're supposed to be led. You aren't supposed to be acting like you partake in any decision making like this. When it comes to the community or where we all gonna go, you do not get a choice in this. Who's your leader? Find him. Let him come talk to us. We'll all come up with an answer. You stay out of it. It's very simple. But no, nobody wants a leader. They all want to be their own leader. Can't have 1,000 kings and think you're going to go somewhere.
He's been in the YouTube space for years.
I heard.
The community
Almost
should
like
be improving.
15
it shouldn't be
or
getting
something,
worse.
12.
It shouldn't be
for a while.
Like Black men and women, the divide is wider. It's not closing in. And so if the militant style was working, then it would show that. And it's not.
That sounds crazy. That's like, you want to know, if I put healthy food in my fucking house, that's like me saying, if healthy food works, why aren't everybody healthy? I say, you act like they can't just go out and eat shit. Like, nigga, just because I put the food, that means he will have to learn to manipulate and control your children. Then their militant style could possibly work. You gotta hit the youth. You can't hit adults. Adults are crazy and adults think their opinions matter. Like, oh my God, there's healthy food in the refrigerator. Yeah, Thomas is still fat because he's gonna go to McDonald's when he leaves. He's not gonna eat this.
Not showing that. So thank you for coming up here and giving your side of things. Was there anything that you wanted to add regarding this conversation as far as like being new to the space? Would you go back?
So I am in the military. So I'm used to people talking to people sternly or getting disrespectful.
She's going to go back.
Working through it. But in this space, I want to have more control than I have in my normal life. In my normal life, when I'm at my job, even if he's being an asshole, he outranks me. Here, I don't have that. So I will go where I am appreciated. I feel
you'll find out. It's here as well. You guys, plenty of them. When they go against somebody who outranks them in the YouTube space, I don't know why people do it. When they go against someone who outranks them in YouTube space, they all always come up with an apology.
Feel like I'm a light. I feel like I'm a happy person, and I don't necessarily agree with everybody, but we can agree to disagree. I'm really good with that. So I have my own space.
Agree to disagree is the way of a person who's just being stubborn. Like, one of you is being stubborn. One of you are. If you don't acknowledge that, you ain't supposed to just be fucking talking to people. I can't stand agree to disagree niggas. It's just people who opening their mouth speaking and then think like this. You're gonna agree with me. If you're not, so you're just an asshole. You're just an asshole. That's all you are. You did not come here to actually come up with a solution. You came here to say, this is my answer. I'm not changing my answer. Either get down or lay down. What up? Like, that's the only thing that's gonna happen. Asshole.
I have my own channel that I just started last weekend,
Mhm.
and people are welcome to come
Congratulations.
over there. It's all about fantasy and happy things, but I don't know.
Sound like
I know
crazy
that
people.
the JR situation, I like JR. I only seen him twice now, but he was cool to me, so I
Right.
have no problem with him.
Right.
But when certain people come up, it's not like you know they're coming, Yanie. Like there's certain people that are planned to come, and there's certain people that just do pop-ups. So it's not really that you can just plan like, oh, okay, I know these few people are gonna be on there. We cool. Let's do this. It's like opportunity comes and they jump on it. So
Why?
Charge complete.
Charge complete, I see. Why aren't you just telling Yanie, you know you just asked her, are you going back? She's giving you a long ass story to yes instead of just saying, yeah, I'll go back. You know, I don't feel like they scolded me or fucking put a towel over my fucking face and drenched water on it so I feel like I'm drowning. So yeah, I'll go back. That's all she has to say.
But I'll be in the spaces. I'll just be where I'm appreciated.
Okay. Well, thank you, Fantasy,
for letting me up.
for coming up here.
She never actually answered that. She'll be in the spaces. She'll be where she appreciated. Are you gonna go back there? Because that's part of the spaces. Do you believe you're appreciated? Whatever, yo. I don't. Big screen. Yanie, I do not know why this makes no sense. Yanie, first, one thing I will say is this. You did not listen to Tommy Sotomayor. You was not listening. You was waiting to respond. Seems like you didn't listen to her, but you just accepted her answer. This was it was really cringing to listen to. Especially the fact, now I need to go find out if Fantasy Island Girl was lying. I hope you weren't lying. And it'd be crazy if I find out that this was like a genius plan of Fantasy Island Girl and Tommy Sotomayor to get her popular. Start beef, then people will start looking at your things, put you in their algorithm, and then you'll just explode. I ain't gonna lie, that shit sounds genius. So fucking genius that it just might work. Oh, you ain't know what that was? Oh, that doo-doo, baby.